to another MLS Weekend Review. Yes, I am back in the office today. So, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. It really has. Or at least this past week, it's been pretty insane. Nah. Kind of lying to you, actually, to be fair. It was a lot of draws this week. A lot of draws. In fact, there was only a total of 5 teams to actually get a full 3 points out of this week. So there wasn't a lot of movement in our top 6 for each side. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings here in the West. We have Colorado, RSL, and FC Dallas all at 17 points apiece. That rounds out your top 3. Colorado had a good couple of... Colorado's just been playing out of their mind, to be fair. And RSL had a great game against Houston, which we'll get into those scores here in a little bit. FC Dallas has kind of been faltering a bit, and you've seen them drop in the standings because of it. The LA Galaxy are sitting at 15 points. They're in 4th. San Jose is sitting at 15 as well. Sporting Kansas City is sitting at 14 points. Portland at 12, jumping up after their win this past weekend. Vancouver sitting at 11, Seattle at 10, and Houston so far being the disappointing team of this year with only 5 points. Going over and looking at the East, Montreal sitting at 14, Philadelphia sitting at 13, Toronto at 11, Orlando City at 10, as well as DC United at 10, NYCFC at 10, and the New England Revolution at 10 as well, but they are underneath the red line thanks to goal difference. Also of note, yes, I do realize Orlando City drew on Friday, and this video is coming out a little bit later this week thanks to my other 2 videos. However, I'm still keeping them where they're at because this is what I wrote down for the standings when I did the research for this video. Yeah, that's happening. So we'll cover their Friday matchup in next week's video. Just to round out, we have the Red Bulls sitting at 9, Columbus at 8 points, and Chicago at 7. The Red Bulls have been on a little bit of a run recently, and we'll go over that here as we go and look at the results of this past week, starting with Wednesday and Friday. NYCFC drew with Montreal 1-1. The New England Revolution. Wow, I just almost called them New York. That's kind of disappointing. My bad, guys. The New England Revolution drew with Portland at home 1-1. Portland was relatively in control of that match until late. The Revolution got a late goal. Impressive goal by Barnby if you guys get a chance to look at it. The nice little shot he threw into the ground to skip over the goalkeeper. I was pretty impressed by the young guy that we have on loan. Anyway, Vancouver also drew with Sporting Kansas City on Wednesday 1-1 to get the point. Red Bulls whooped up on Dallas, on FC Dallas 4-0 on Friday, and had a really impressive free kick that had like 4 guys running through the ball, not taking the shot, and then it was a nice little play where he dinked it over the wall. A guy headed it into another running player who was in perfect position. Looked like a beautiful out-of-bounds play in basketball, to be perfectly honest. I was relatively impressed, to say the least. Going into Saturday's games, this was the end of April the 30th, Montreal drew with Colorado 2-2. Great game. You know, it was probably a fair result. Colorado's been hot recently. Montreal probably could have used a win to try to pull away more at the top of the East, but they had plenty of time to do so. It also had a decent goal by Drogba, if you guys get a chance to check that out. NYCFC beat Vancouver 3-2. Impressive scissor kick from David Villa. So definitely take a look at that. Vancouver's kind of been faltering here and there, as you can probably tell by their place in the table. They only pulled 2 points out of this past week, so Vancouver's going to have to figure something out. They have Portland coming up and playing in a big Cascadia match, so We'll see how Vancouver does going forward. Seattle beat Columbus. Columbus needs to figure things out, I tell you what. But Jordan Morris got his 3rd goal in 3 games, so that's really great for Seattle. Kind of hate to see it as a Timbers fan, but, you know, it was still impressive. You know, for the U.S. national team, Jordan Morris being in form is a good thing. Chicago drew with DC United 1-1. DC United probably should be playing better, and it looked like they were going to be playing better, but getting a draw against Chicago was kind of lackluster. The New York Revolution also drew to Orlando City on Saturday 2-2. RSL beat Houston 2-1. In a game where Nick Raimondo had probably the saves of his career. One where, goodness, quick reaction, and all of a sudden he parries the next one just 2 seconds later off his face in a diving effort. Nick Raimondo, you know, I have all the respect for you in the world, man. You are a beast of a goalkeeper, even if you've caused my Timbers problems occasionally. On Saturday, Portland beat Toronto 2-1. We'll get into this more. I was there. You guys can find my video about it in the description below. Definitely check it out. Impressive game. We'll go over a little bit here in just a second. However, this Sporting Kansas City got another draw against the LA Galaxy, where Giovanni Dos Santos has been on a goal-scoring tear recently. So expect him to make the Mexican national team at this point for Copa America, which is definitely impressive. So going back into the Portland-Toronto game. I was there, like I said. It was a fantastic match. It started out early in the 17th minute with a beautiful combination play. We had been putting pressure on Toronto early. Had a great little back and forth between Valeri, Maddox, back to Valeri, across once he pulled the goalkeeper up to Adi for an easy tap-in. Adi has been scoring goals out of his mind, which you'll see that here coming up in my next segment about top scorers. But Valeri, this was really Valeri's day. It really was. He was all over the pitch and causing problems for Toronto. You know, in the 20th, there's a questionable stand-up tackle, or studs-up tackle, excuse me, by Will Johnson that probably should have been red-carded on Valeri, which wouldn't have given him the opportunity later, crazy enough, as much as we love Will Johnson here in Portland, to score against us after a missed foul call on us, the Timbers, on Giovinco, because we easily fouled him right there, and that should have just been whistled immediately for a free kick on the edge of the box, but instead it squirts out, and Will Johnson got his first goal since leaving Portland, against Portland. Well, it's not his first goal since leaving Portland, but his first one against Portland since leaving Portland. Anyway, they've only played once. That's really not a big deal. Looking at the next goal in the 74th, there was a beautiful, beautiful free kick by Diego Valeri. I was there. It blew my mind. Nobody expected that to go in. A short, you know, short post, not the far post. Well, I guess it's near post, isn't it? And can I sound any more American? Anyway, hits the near post, or just in between the near post and the goalkeeper, right past him and over the wall. Upper echelon. Wow. Oh, beautiful free kick. Anyway, enough of going over that, because Jake Gleason became MLS Player of the Week this past week with his performance, especially late in the match, holding on to that win for Portland. Had 5 or 6 point-blank saves that were brilliant and should definitely be of note. Anyway, to our next segment. Normally I would go over a couple other games, but there really wasn't a whole ton that I wanted to go over in that aspect, especially since I've already put 2 videos out this week. So we're going to go and look at the top goal scorers for this year so far. Right now in first, we have Wondolowski of San Jose with 7 goals. 2, Adi has 7 as well for Portland. Giovinco for Toronto has 6. David Villa has 6 as well for NYCFC. And then in 5th, there's probably about 8 or 9 guys tied with 4. So I didn't pick any specific one to fill that spot. Now looking at shots per game, Villa been averaging about 6 so far for NYCFC. Giovinco's been averaging about 5.5 shots a game for Toronto. Espindola, which I probably butchered his name, not gonna lie, for DC United is sitting at about 4.7. Valeri for Portland has been shooting about 4.3 times per game. He's been more on the assist end though than anything else. And Drogba for Montreal, since his return, has been averaging about 4 shots per game as well. Now that I've gotten through the stats, you can definitely go check out WhoScoredIt.com. This is where I get all my stat information. They've gave me permission to use their site. You can find information about them in the description below. Awesome people. They responded to me quickly. Definitely check them out for all your MLS stats. Anyway, this has been MLS Week in Review. Thank you for tuning in. Going forward, we'll have more of this. I probably am going to see the Sporting Kansas City Portland Timbers match in a couple weeks, is what it's looking like. Really excited about that. That should be really fun. So definitely be looking out for that. We'll have more MLS Week in Review next week as well. So, thank you all for watching. Definitely subscribe to my channel, like this video if you enjoyed it. Also, check out everything I do on my Facebook page and Twitter. Twitter's at TheAnalyst32. Facebook's facebook.com/TheAnalyst32. And definitely comment as well. Let me know your thoughts on how the MLS season is going. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm rambling on too long. I will see you guys on the other side of the pitch. Have a good one.